This brought a quick stop to thoughts of food. Pooh looked over and watched as Rabbit walked to the head of the picnic table. "I have asked my friend Eeyore." He paused and nodded in the direction of the grey donkey, whose head was hanging down, as usual. "I have asked him to propose a resolution." Pooh cocked his head. Resolution? He did not like when Rabbit used such big words. He opened his mouth to ask what a resolution was, but before he could, Eeyore lumbered over to stand by Rabbit. He placed a piece of paper in the middle of the table, and then proceeded to straighten it out, for a very long time. Finally, he cleared his throat and began to read. "Christopher Robin is going," he said, his voice slow and deep, and, as usual, devoid of any happiness. "At least, I think he is. Where? Nobody knows. But he is going." Eeyore paused, and his heavy brows furrowed as he looked over the words on the page. "I mean, he goes," he corrected himself. Then he went on. "Do we care? We do. Very much. Anyhow, we send our love. The end." The sullen donkey stopped speaking and slowly lifted his head from the paper. The other animals were silent. Pooh was looking beyond him at the large banner they had hung above the picnic table. The words, "Farewell, Christopher Robin," were written across it, not quite straight, in a mishmash of colours. Eeyore let out a long, slow sigh. "If anyone wants to clap," he said finally, with little enthusiasm in his voice, "now is the time to do it." As if on cue, Christopher Robin himself walked into the clearing. "That's a lovely poem, Eeyore," he said in a kind voice. The 7-year-old had been hanging back at the edge of the clearing until Eeyore had finished. Now he brushed back his auburn bangs, which had grown long and shaggy over the summer months, and looked around at all his friends. He felt a lump in his throat. He loved the odd collection of animals more than anything in the world. He loved sweet, innocent Piglet, with his squeaky voice and fear of, well, everything. There was Kanga and her Joey Roo, and Tigger, who even during this sombre occasion couldn't stop moving. Owl and Rabbit had remained serious the entire time, while Eeyore had managed to make the going-away poem sound even sadder than it was supposed to be. And, of course, there was his best friend Winnie the Pooh. He was going to miss them all so much. They had spent so many long days together playing in the woods behind his family's house. Without them around, the summer would have been painfully slow and painfully lonely. Mother and Father were not exactly fun playmates. Knowing that the others were looking at him intently, eager to see if he liked his banner and poem, Christopher tried hard to smile. But he could tell that the others knew he was sad, especially Pooh. "It's just too bad it's over," the bear said, pulling his red shirt down over his belly. "I would have liked it to go for a while longer." With a nod of agreement, Christopher Robin walked over to the picnic table. His shirt and shorts, which had fit at the beginning of the summer, were now too small, and he found himself pulling them down in a similar fashion to how Pooh tugged on his clothes. Although Christopher knew that Pooh's reason for a tight shirt wasn't so much growing up as growing rounder from the abundant honey he ate. Jumping up onto the picnic table so he was closer in height to Christopher Robin, Piglet approached the boy. Even now, after countless hours of playing and adventuring together, the small pig seemed nervous. Christopher Robin tried not to smile, as Piglet, whose expression was far too big and serious for such a tiny creature, held out a small bag. "I made you this sack of 100-Acre Wood acorns," he stammered. They are my